My name is Steven Seaver. I'm the Business Development Manager for Contel here in Fort Myers, Florida. We're a small family-owned company. We've been in business for over 40 years. What we specialize in is deep foundations in the form of piles. We also do soil stabilization and waterproof for concrete via injection. Today we're going to be testing out a new product from 5-Star, which is Gunite.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tim Fitzgerald. I'm the Technical Director at 5-Star Products. Today we're going to be showing you the 5-Star Structural Concrete Gunite. It's a fast-setting, fast-strength gaining gunite material. It allows you to coat it within 8 hours, and it's a true structural material. Some of the processes that we're going to be doing today involve spraying on a wall, and actually within a few short hours, providing a coating on top of that wall. So we show how versatile and how fast this material is. Let me describe some of the equipment. This is actually a shotcrete gunite rig. What we're going to be doing is placing bags into this hopper, and with a compressor we're going to blow air, and the material is going to run down this line, and it's going to be met at the end of the line at a nozzle where water will be introduced. We can adjust the water levels, but basically the material is going to dry out in about 15 to 20 minutes, making it very useful for structural repairs and finishing large areas instead of hand applying. So that's one of the things that we're going to show you today. With any concrete repair or precision grouting application, the substrate needs to be wet. If it doesn't have a moisture content, then the substrate has the ability to pull the moisture out of the material we're applying it to and become debonded. So we're trying to keep this thing wet. We wet it overnight, and we're just trying to put some more moisture on it before we get actually started. So in any application, we want to pre-soak for a considerable period of time. This is not just showing up and wetting down the substrate and then applying the material. There should be a minimum of 8 hours of pre-soak before we attempt to do this. So proper conditioning of the material is vital for working time and initial set. What we try to do here is we're going to take the temperature of the material and then take the temperature of the water and get an idea of what our working time will be as a result of that. This material has been setting in a cooler overnight, actually for the last 36 hours. And right now the material is showing a temperature of 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so part of the process, other than cooling down the material, is we want to check the water temperature. The colder the water, the longer the working time in cementitious materials. Same holds true for a gunite. So what we've done is we pre-packed this cooler with ice and filled it with water. We left the ice in the bags. We don't want to clog the pump, or in the case of grouting, clog the mortar mixers. The water temperature is 54 degrees. So what we're doing right now is having the nozzle in practice a little bit to get his water adjusted from the nozzle and practice building up depth. You'll notice everybody's got masks and face shields on because there's a high amount of impact. You basically need a face shield. This is a fairly low rebound material, meaning you're not going to have a lot of waste when you truly get into spraying. Okay, so now he's got his water ratios just about right, and he's going to go ahead and start spraying the wall. And with everything that we do here at 5-Star Products, we like to take tests. We like to do in situ testing of the materials in real conditions. And so what we've done here is we built a box that we're going to fill with material, and then we're going to cut long bars out of it to measure linear shrinkage. And we're also going to be testing for water content. Typically this material takes about 6.5% water, with the water's meeting from the nozzle. So it's a very dry mix. We've got a bunch of different tools here, bull float, wood, metal. We've got scrapers. We're just going to smooth the material out on the wall once it's finished. Like all things in construction, the applicator is the key. The nozzle man and the finisher are right beside each other finishing this material. The nozzle man needs to adjust the water ratios on occasion, and he'll do that right here at the nozzle. So we just took the temperature of the material that's being shot on the wall, and it was 81 degrees. Okay, so when we're doing walls, we start at the bottom and build up a few inches at a time. In these applications, we can spray as thin as a ½ inch or even `1/4 of an inch, and we can go to maximum depth, which in some instances on some other test walls, we were at 8 inches and 12 inches thick. You saw from the test panel how hard it is already, and that's the beauty of this material. The material is curing out now and gaining bond strength and gaining compressive strength. It's expelling the water that's inherent in the mix at a very fast rate. When it gets below 5.5% moisture, a coating can be applied. Now the coating can be applied per the coating manufacturer's recommendation, but it'll be less than 5% in probably about a half an hour or so. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate typically what happens. You have the nozzleman spraying, and you'll have a finisher knocking down the high spots. That's why I'm wearing a face shield. As you can see here, we start at the bottom and work our way to the top, smoothing it out, give it a nice finish. And he'll probably come on and put some more material on it. Finishing great. Because we cooled the mix design, the water was cold, the material was cold, it's allowing us to go and put a nice finish on the gunite. Now this would typically have been done right as I was spraying it. We would have had a finisher right next to me finishing it. But this is kind of what you want to get. A smooth surface. So I wanted to show you up close what the difference in the finishes were. So this is just rough, right? This is what we sprayed on earlier. And this is a finished surface. And you can see it's very smooth. It will accept a coating very well. We've got a little bit of aggregate exposed. But there's a telltale sign that this material is kicking off and it's starting to hydrate out. You see these light spots here. This material is starting to dry out very fast. That means it's gaining bond strength, it's gaining compressive strength, and that's what we want. So the 5-star structural concrete gunite comes in a 50-pound bag. All we're doing here is breaking bags and throwing them into the hopper. The hopper will hold probably 4 to 5 bags at a time. The compressor is actually blowing this material out to the nozzle where it's met by water, and they basically can adjust the water ratio at the nozzle to get it wetter or drier depending on what they're trying to do. But it's a simple process. The important thing is that the bags remain dry. We don't want any moisture in it until it hits the nozzle. So now we're spraying on a poured in place concrete wall, 4,000 PSI concrete. You can see the tie-back holes. They're being filled up very easily with the spray. One of the great things about a gunite material is it's about 90 degrees outside here today in southern Florida. And since the material is only wetted out at the nozzle, we can pump this stuff hundreds and hundreds of feet. Right now we have a 50-foot line on the equipment, but we could pump this a long distance and not have a problem with the material setting up in the line like you would with a wet shotcrete. So it's very, very useful in the hot climates, the gunite material. At the very bottom, we've used a highest pressure water blast to take off the top creamy layer of the concrete to expose aggregate. In the middle section, we used a shot blaster, basically a sand sprayer, where we've exposed aggregate with that as well. At the very top, we've used a mechanical scabbler. It basically dimples the surface. In each one, we've taken away the latenance layer to give something good to bond to. We want to see exposed aggregate. This material has been pre-soaked for about 24 hours, so it's ready for the application. Been about 2 to 2.5 hours since we applied this structural gunite material on this wall. We typically use a moisture meter to measure the moisture content, because if the moisture content is above 5%, it will actually bubble and blow off the coating. So we want something less than that. And if I do this right now, we're at about 2.75% moisture in here, which is ideal to apply a coating. So 3 hours, we're going to apply a coating, and you'll see that in a few minutes. Our technical data sheet suggests 8 to 24-hour minimum, but in these conditions, we can do it sooner. We'll be applying a 2-part epoxy coating to this wall. Coating times are up to the coatings manufacturer, not up to 5-star, but we're going to apply a two-part system. First, we're going to put a primer down, and then we'll apply a top coat of an epoxy coating. So you put a primer on a concrete substrate to keep the concrete from outgassing moisture. It also helps adhere the final coating to the wall. So this is the first primer coat. We'll only use one today, but this is exemplary of a primer. So it helps adhere, it helps the final coating adhere to the wall, and also prevents any outgassing. We're applying it over the primer coat. Now, typically in a larger application, we'd be spraying this, but this is for demonstration purposes only. And there you have it. 5-star structural concrete gunite, coatable, in this particular instance, in 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Well, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a big thank you to Concel. Used their equipment, and they built these mock-ups for us. Today was a very successful day using 5-star structural concrete gunite. Thank you.